reinforcing your protective boundaries. Full moon in Cancer 2. The burning question of the Cancer full moon. What part of your emotional life deserves protection? What must be kept in or outside your walls so that it can truly thrive? The opening full moon of 2026 is potent because the moon is directly opposing a powerful lineup of planets in Capricorn: the Sun, Venus, Mercury, and an exalted Mars. The opposition is pressing on the great tension of modern life, the conflict between your outer world duties, commitments, and ambitions, and its impact on your private needs for rest, nourishment, and emotional honesty. The astrology is asking you to integrate both softness and strength, showing you what change may be needed to build a secure emotional foundation. Hello, I'm Sonia, your host from Celestia Astrology. And if you enjoy this, I'd be so grateful for your likes, subscribes, and your comments on your experience of this Cancer full moon. If you know what house this is falling into, let me know in the comments and how it's showing up for you. We're diving into this time of this watery full moon in Cancer, a time of emotional illumination that peaks on January the 3rd at 13 degrees. This full moon is also the culmination of a long Cancer moon family cycle that began in 2024. And in this recording, I'll help you understand what's been growing beneath the surface, where boundaries could have been tested, and how to work with this moment through reflection, journaling, and ritual. We will look beyond the forecast to find clarity, ritual, and deeply practical actions you can take to anchor your emotional life for the year ahead. We are exploring how to align with the sky to make calmer, clearer choices. If you'd like deeper support applying this to your life and your chart, you can work with me through Celestia Circle on Substack or with the one-to-one reading. So I'm going to be looking at journal prompts to help you meet this moment consciously, ritual and practical actions that you can take, the nature of a Cancer full moon, and the moon family story arc for Cancer 2. We'll look at the Cancer 2 Decan themes of sanctuary and protection, and we'll see this Decan in verse from T. Susan Chang. We'll look at the astrology of this lunation and the tensions that it may bring up for us, and also the benefits. We'll look at who may feel this full moon most strongly. And finally, I'll offer some integration and guidance for the week ahead. So if you're journaling, just take these prompts slowly. Let the answers emerge rather than forcing them, or maybe even return to your answers. So here are some suggestions. What have I been protecting since mid-2024? And why did it matter? Where do I feel the tension between duty and rest in my body right now? Name the physical sensation and listen to its message. What boundaries support my creativity, relationships, or well-being right now? Who is invited into my inner circle? And who needs clearer limits? What is one relationship dynamic where I am constantly overgiving? And how does that neglect my own need for nourishment? Where have I confused closeness with obligation? What clear, decisive communication do I need to offer myself or another person to protect my personal sanctuary? If my emotional life felt completely safe and secure, what creative project would I finally feel brave enough to begin? And here are some ritual and practical suggestions. The Cancer moon invites sensory and protective actions to anchor your emotional life. Choose one simple action to support you at this time. You might like to create a physical sanctuary. This might be a corner of your home, a daily ritual, or even a protected time that is not negotiable. If it's a physical space, clean it, tend it, and name its purpose. You might like to light a candle in the space and ask the moon to illuminate any emotional debris that needs to be cleared from your sanctuary. Share nourishment intentionally. Cook, gather, or celebrate with those whose company feels reciprocal rather than demanding. Allow joy to arise naturally. Set one clear boundary. Write it down. Speak it, gently but firmly. Notice how your body responds when you honor it. Practice reinforcing it and accept that it is likely to be tested. Water blessing. Take a ritual bath or shower. Visualize the water washing away any external obligations or emotional debris that you have been carrying for others. enjoy a moment of deep release. The nature of Cancer. Imagine stepping into your own walled garden under the light of a luminous full moon. The boundaries are clear, the air is still, and everything inside the garden, your most cherished relationships, your quietest passions, your deepest emotional self, is well nourished and safe to grow and thrive. You are in the second decan of Cancer, under the full moon, bringing emotional tides to their peak and asking that we claim our right to inner safety. This full moon is a moment of culmination and clarity, shining a light on the results of the emotional seeds that you planted long ago. Because this lunation is in Cancer, the sign of home, family, and deep-seated emotion, it is asking a core question. What part of your emotional life is ready to be protected and celebrated? Cancer is a cardinal water sign, ruled by the intuitive moon and generous Jupiter, where Jupiter is exalted. It initiates action and events through feelings, memory, and emotional intelligence. This is a sign that moves by sensing what is needed to feel safe, nourished, and held, and wanting to extend that to others. As a feminine or yin sign, Cancer receives and responds. It gathers, shelters, protects, and remembers. As cardinal water, it takes action in response to those feelings and emotions, shaping environments, homes, families, and nurturing ecosystems. Cancer was known by the ancients as the portal of mortals. The ancients believed that it was the moon who transferred spirit into matter on Earth through this portal of Cancer. The ruler of Cancer, the moon, is known as the translator of light, as she reflects the sun's light and acts as a mirror. You may wish to contemplate what is being shown to you in the reflective mirror of Cancer at this pivotal time of year, and what is shifting. The meaning of a full moon. Full moons bring matters to culmination and visibility. They reveal what has been growing since the new moon and ask for recognition, response, or release. This is a lunar peak where awareness ripens and something reaches a state of completion or clarity. In lived experience, full moons may often feel emotionally heightened. They illuminate dynamics we can no longer ignore or postpone. In Cancer, that illumination shines in the realm of safety, belonging, family, care, and emotional boundaries. We see the moon shining brightly in the sky from our perspective on Earth, as it is opposite the sun, and is able to fully reflect the sun's light. Nothing is hidden or in shadow, and this symbolizes the illumination of our earthly concerns. The Cancer moon family. This full moon belongs to a moon family that began on the 5th of July 2024 at 14 degrees of Cancer. The first quarter on the 5th of April 2025 asks for commitment and adjustment. And now, at the full moon on the 3rd of January 2026, the story reaches its emotional culmination. Moon families, as outlined by Dietrich Pessin in Lunar Shadows 3, unfold as longer narrative arcs than the monthly lunar story or the 6-month story between one Cancer new moon to the Cancer full moon. Each of the 4 phases revisits the same degree range in Cancer, showing how the first intention matures and adjusts over time. So we've moved from the new moon on the 5th of July 2024 at 14 degrees of Cancer. We then had the first quarter moon on the 5th of April 2025 at 15 degrees of Cancer. We're now at the full moon on the 3rd of January 2026 at 13 degrees, and there will finally come a last quarter moon where we'll have some release of part of the story before we move into the new cycle on the 3rd of October 2026 at 10 degrees of Cancer. Cancer moon families often revolve around home, emotional security, family patterns, and the creation of spaces that feel safe enough for growth. Those with planets or angles in the cardinal signs, that's Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, and Libra, especially between the degrees of 10 to 16, may feel this cycle most strongly. Also those with similar placements in the water signs or with the moon or Jupiter as their lord of the year. Anyone who began something tender or protective in mid-2024 may now see clearly what it has become. This full moon falls in the second decan of Cancer, co-ruled by Mercury and Mars. This decan is concerned with protection that is active and communicated. Astrologer Austin Coppock calls this the walled garden. The purpose of the walls is to ensure that your most sacred inner life, your creativity, your emotions, your self-trust, your vulnerability, has the secure space it needs to flourish. It is a place where growth is nurtured because limits exist and boundaries are clear and enforced. Kira Ryberg names this decan protection. This highlights the necessity of actively fostering your relationships, passions, and deeply personal projects with secure, effective boundaries. It's active, intentional defense of your well-being. The Wild Way Oracle depicts Cancer 2 as sanctuary. In the Oracle card image, 3 otters gather in a sheltered river grove, sharing abundance within a protected space. They remind us to carve out the time and energy to foster our relationships, passions and projects, and to build effective boundaries to keep them safe from the world at large. And they offer us the keywords: safe haven, protect and foster, creative collaboration. The tarot correspondence is the 3 of Cups. This card speaks of celebration, community, collaboration, close connections, and shared joy. It is about choosing a community that nourishes. In the card, we see 3 women who appear to be dancing in celebration, each holding a cup raised high. We see an abundance of flowers at their feet and in their hair. In the context of Cancer 2, this card suggests joy that grows within safe relationships, emotional intimacy that is supported by trust and clear boundaries. It asks us to notice who we celebrate with and why. Dreaming the Decan's T. Susan Chang. T. Susan Chang's verse for Cancer 2 evokes triple shelter from the storm, with words that can shape form, offering celebrations held within fences that protect and shelter. Muses, graces, grant the spell I cast upon this wishing well. Kindly fates, exit your cave, wave upon successive wave. Words that shape a world of form, triple shelter from the storm. Safe as houses, strong as fences, celebration by consensus. This poetry echoes the Decan's teaching. Safety and sanctuary are seen as a conscious structure that allow feeling, creativity, and relationship to move and grow freely within it. The astrological conversation. The moon, ruler of this lunation, is co-present with Jupiter, Cancer's exalted ruler, retrograde. This amplifies emotional truth while asking for reflection on belief systems, growth, and generosity. Where do we want to be nourished and feel protected? And where does our support come from? Any shifts will be visible now. Fixed star Sirius, the success star. The moon is co-present with exalted Jupiter and is applying to fixed star Sirius, the star of success, honor, and renown. This suggests that claiming your emotional nourishment now leads to long-term success. However, because Jupiter is retrograde, the rewards may require an internal review of your faith and belief before they fully manifest. With Sirius, we often see how the mundane becomes sacred through the small daily actions in our lives, which may have a greater impact than we anticipate. The Cancer-Capricorn axis. The moon in Cancer, ruler of this lunation, signifying emotions and home, directly opposes a stellium of the Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Mars in Capricorn. These are concerned with our ambitious, tangible plans. Mars, exalted in Capricorn, lends structured, disciplined action and focused will to the commitments you make now. The tension is about using your ambition to build a sustainable emotional life and maintain a healthy balance. This helps us to navigate the polarity between care and responsibility, feeling and duty, inner life and outer demands. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, asking us to act decisively and maturely. However, all these planets moving so close to the Sun are not visible in the sky. This means their significations are more likely to be experienced internally as reflections or inner prompts for growth than in external events. Mercury and Mars, the dual co-rulers of the Decan, are both opposite the moon in Capricorn. This might sharpen conversations around boundaries, commitments, and responsibilities, and our inner response and feelings around them. Emotional needs must be articulated clearly rather than assumed. The moon trines the North Node in Pisces and sextiles the South Node in Virgo, suggesting that karmic growth could come through compassion and release of overanalysis. Jupiter squares Chiron in Aries, highlighting old wounds around independence, assertion, and self-protection. The wounded healer. Exalted Jupiter is squaring Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries. This suggests that your expanded sense of emotional growth may challenge an old wound around self-assertion and courage. To fully claim your sanctuary, you may need to address a painful memory, maybe about speaking up for yourself. Who may feel this full moon most? Those with strong Cancer or Capricorn placements may feel pulled between care and responsibility. Cardinal signs, especially placements in the second decan between 10 to 19 degrees 59 minutes, may experience decisive moments around home, work, or relationships. The other cardinal signs, Aries and Libra, may also feel this full moon. Water signs, Scorpio and Pisces, may also notice supportive shifts. Anyone working with themes of family, belonging, creative collaboration, or emotional labor may feel a call to reassess where energy is flowing and where it is leaking. And finally, return to the burning question. What deserves protection now, and what must be kept outside the walls so that it can truly thrive? What insights might have arisen as you've been listening, and what do you want to look out for over the next few days? The full moon in Cancer offers a gift of emotional clarity. You might wish to use the structure of the Capricorn energy to create boundaries around your softness and make the disciplined choice to nourish yourself. Your commitment to emotional honesty is the key to unlocking the delayed abundance promised by Jupiter and the success of Sirius. This time calls us to nurture our inner sanctuary, fostering our emotional well-being and nurturing our closest relationships. The influence of Sirius offers both magical opportunities and challenges, reminding us that great success often requires consistent effort and resilience. As you navigate this lunar cycle, it is best to embrace the journey with an open heart, ready to see the sacred in the mundane. The overarching theme of this moon is about emotional sovereignty. What boundaries do you need to create or reinforce so that your inner life and most intimate projects can thrive? Are you ready to map your full year? You might consider booking a year ahead reading to see how these cycles unfold in your own unique chart. Comment below if you're not sure of your sun or moon decan, and I will personally help you. And if you'd like help applying this full moon to your chart, you can join Celestia Circle on Substack for monthly guidance, workbooks and community support working with the moon families, or alternatively book a one-to-one reading with me. You're also welcome to comment if you'd like help identifying where the Cancer 2 decan that this lunation activates falls in your chart, and the house that it's in will bring additional themes. Travel well, friends.